Hi, welcome back to Binkerbelle's Yarning. It is Tuesday, which means it's Tutorial Tuesday. If you remember from last week, we worked on the Tunisian Jacob's ladder. So it's a Tunisian simple stitch with a chain in between in order to create this wonderful ladder effect. So this week we are moving on to crochet square, and it will actually be another Jacob's ladder, but with crochet techniques. So as we've been working on these sampler squares, we're using a number 4 or worsted weight yarn. I'm using Caron's Pantone because it was great on sale. And we're going to also continue with a number 7, with a 7mm hook. Okay, so this is the same one that I was using for the Tunisian because you can easily slide 30 stitches on here without a problem. So I've chained 30. Okay, and we're going to add 1 stitch for our height, so it's a total of 31 stitches, and then we're going to single crochet starting in the second chain from the hook, and then into each stitch across. Our foundation row, and then chain 1. Don't have to, but I like the height that it gives, and we're going to single crochet into each stitch across for another total of 30 stitches. stitches across. Now we're going to start our loop row. So again, we're going to do 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep your chains loose because we do have to loop them into subsequent chains up the row, and you don't want it to pucker. So then we single crochet in the next stitch. That counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to chain 10 again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops. The one thing I dislike about Caron is that it has a tendency to split quite badly. 8, oh that's 9, and that's 10. And then single crochet, and that starts again at 1. So continue that to the end of the row. You'll have a total of 5 sets of loops, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. Okay, so when you come to the end of your row, we're actually going to change colors. You don't have to, you can keep it monochromatic, but I'm doing two-tone for this square. So there we go. And pick up our next color, just like that. Tighten this up a bit. Now I carry this up the side, so every time I do a color change I just bring it up like this. You don't have to, but that's the way I like it. Chain 1, and then we're going to do a row of single crochets all the way across. Okay, when you get to your loop, just kind of hold it in front, because as you come across to the next stitch, this will close the gap that the loop made. Okay, just like that, and puts the loop in the front of your work. So you continue all the way to the end of that, and you're going to go to a total of 14 loops, just like this. So we have our foundation row, our first row of singles, and then our loop, and then a single, and then a loop, and then a single, and then a loop. So we have a total of, not counting this base row, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. Okay, and then we're going to do 29 is your base row, and then this is a row of single crochets after our loop that locks that closed. So that's a total of 30 rows. Now for finishing it, we're doing another row of single crochets, so that makes 31 rows. But on your 31st row, this is where we're going to close the loop set. There's 3, 4. This is your 5th row here, so you take your last loop. So you just kind of tuck them up there. I'll show you how to do that. You literally just put the top one through the bottom one, top one through bottom, top through bottom. Well, you can see that. This is the top loop, this is the bottom loop, top through bottom, just like that, all the way up. And there's our last loop, just like that. So we have 5 single crochets before our loop set. And we're going to do, we have 4 single crochets. On our 5th one, we're going to add the loop. So go through your stitch, go into your stitch, and then we're going to pick up one of the chains, pull it through just like that, and then single crochet to close. And then we're going to do the same in the next stitch, and this is our second, this is the beginning of our next set of 5, into chain, pull it through both, and then single crochet to close, and that closes our top loop, so it's not all floppy like this one here. And that's the first stitch in our next 5, so it's 1, and this is 2, 3, 4. On 5, we're going to pick up a chain. This is the other reason you don't want to chain too tightly. Pull through, and finish the single crochet. It's 5, and then this is 1. Chain, single crochet to close. And there we have it, they're all closed. So from here, you're going to do 2 more rows of single crochets. So you'll have a total of 33 rows. So there we go. Jacob's ladder in crochet, 33 rows. Next week we're going to be doing a similar pattern, but using knitting as opposed to crochet or Tunisian. So if you're doing all 3 of the disciplines for this series, you'll have a Jacob's ladder for each of them. So one crochet, we'll have crochet, knit, and Tunisian. And again, you want to make 3 of these. Okay, if you're only doing crochet and Tunisian, then you need to make 6 of each, and if you're only doing one of the disciplines, you need to make 9 of each. So again, 3 if you're doing all 3, 6 if you're doing 2, 9 if you're doing 1, and they're all done using 7mm hook or needles, depending on what you're doing, and number 4 worsted weight yarn. Alright, so that's everything for today's Tutorial Tuesday. Have a great day.